the two Q&As, I just fell asleep, and then I opened the eyes, and it was over, and I saw you call many times.
Oh, no worries at all. No worries. Well, we're glad to be able to talk to you again. I'm Logan, by the way. It's very nice to meet you. Yeah, I was moderating with you in Austin. Yeah. So, how are you feeling today?
What's the nice poster behind you?
Oh, that one right there is the Fantastic Fest poster from last year. I'm a programmer with Fantastic Fest, so we were thrilled to have your film with us. And then I got some stuff over here with like Hitchcock and Kubrick.
I like that one.
Yeah. How are you feeling today?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
I didn't drink.
Okay. Awesome. So can we start by talking about those kind of like the opening credits of the film?
So I'll do it like check. So I'll send you the footage, the videos from this point on.
Yeah. 24 is recording it, so they'll have record of it for sure. Yeah. And I'm just recording some sound too, just in case we need it. But can you talk about the opening credits where you kind of mentioned that it's based on a true story and there were a lot of people kind of lost in this process? Can you explain that a bit more?
That opening of the movie wasn't meant to be. We started shooting a movie with the choreography scene on a Monday. Then we kept on shooting that first part of the movie, and then on the third day of shooting, it started snowing in Paris heavily, and there was a lot of snow in the park in front of the school in which we were shooting. And so I called, we were having dinner, and I talked to my line producer, say, hey, is there a chance you can get a drone and we can try to shoot this girl who I knew was going to be hurt later in the movie? It would be good if she's bleeding and she falls on the snow, but can you get a drone in the next hour? So he called a company, and they arrived. And while people were having dinner, we just did 2 takes of this girl walking in the snow and falling on the snow. And the 2 takes were amazing, one of them even better. And then I said, well, we have the post-epilogue of the movie, because I wanted to end the movie with that character putting something in the eyes. And but the take was so pretty that then I decided that when the door finally opens in the movie, we were going to replace the rain machine by a snow machine. And also, in the process of shooting and pre-editing the movie, I thought, oh, if I put the post-epilogue at the beginning of the movie, I can get rid of the final credits of the movie at the beginning, because I hate the final credits of any movie. It's the most boring part of any movie nowadays since the late 60s. Before the end of the 60s, any movie would just finish with the end or fin or fin, like and you know the light would go on, and you still have the movie inside your brain. Nowadays, once the movie's over, you have 3 minutes of useless running credits. And so, if we need contractually to put the names of everybody who participated in the movie and the music, right? Why don't we do it at the beginning when people are not yet inside the story? And also, it's a bit like in the movie Titanic, they show you that the Titanic is going to hit an iceberg, and how, and then the drama starts. But when you announce that something is going to happen later, something bad, you turn a drama into a tragedy. Drama just unfolds itself. A tragedy is something that cannot be changed. So you know that something's going to go wrong since the beginning of the movie, and then you have this joyful scenes, but you know that something bad's going to come after. Like, and then many people ask me, "Oh, were you inspired by The Shining? Was it an homage to The Shining, like this house or building or school in the middle of this nowhere with snow all around?" I say, no, it's not an image. It's a lucky accident that happened to me, that it was snowing in Paris for 24 hours.
It worked. It worked really nicely. So is it based on a true story? Is it something that people in France know about?
Yeah, well, the people of my generation heard But then you have crimes every day. You have political dramas every day. But the problem, because I collect articles of newspapers with like stories that could one day make a movie. I have the whole boxes of articles, but that one stuck to my mind. And my line producer, when they talked to me about this story, and we said, "Oh, that could be a great story to make a movie of." And with my line producer, Serge Cotin, we went to a voguing ballroom at the beginning of December 2017, and then because I wanted to start shooting something. I said, "Oh, why don't we do a documentary with these dancers? I love how they dance," and I was obsessed with some other crumpers that I had seen on the website. And it took me like 2 weeks to say, "But why don't I illustrate the story in an open way, without telling the names or the city where the story happened, and replace the dancers that and I don't know which kind of dancers they were." By the street dancers, and so and we rewrote the storyline with all the people who were in front of the camera, so it's an open adaptation of a real drama. It's quite hard when you want to do a movie based on a true story. There are so many issues about what can you show or you cannot show. You can only show what's been proved. So yeah, I got extremely inspired by the story, but then I did my own movie or our own movie out of it.
Awesome, very cool. So that kind of leads into my next question about the characters. I mean, so much depends on caring about these people, right? And really kind of following their story. So, in the process of casting all of the non-professional actors who are part of this film, did you allow the people that you met to inform your characters, or did you already have your characters in mind before you started casting?
I just wanted them to be happy, and also if you do a movie with such great dancers, and most of them were non-professional dancers. A few of them had already participated in shows, probably 7 out of 21, but most of them were like battle dancers or ballroom dancers. They would go to a voguing event, a crump event, walking event, and they would compete to one by one or like a battle between two dancers. And so they were not even professional dancers. They were the best dancers I could find in Paris in January 2018. And I met around 45 dancers that I pre-casted on the net or going to some events. And after talking with them, I understand who were the most playful ones, the nicest ones, the most charismatic ones. Yeah, and at the end, we selected 23 dancers. Among them, you have the young kid who's also that we found in the dance school. You have Sophia, who's a famous actress because although she was the biggest queen of European hip hop, and she moved to LA to dance for Madonna, Michael Jackson, etc. Then she started an acting career in Hollywood movies. So she is an actress, and a great one. And also there was this other girl that we met at the very last moment, Suela Yakub, who plays a pregnant girl. She was an actor, but as a young girl, and she's a great dancer. But she also started a career in theater plays, in movies. So there were two professional actresses, and all the rest were dancers, and they were not even professional dancers for most of them. And in almost all my movies, I cast people for what they are, for their charisma, and then I asked them to play someone else. So they were inventing their own character. I even asked them which name would like to have in the movie, and then for all the improvisations that we're doing during that fake casting session, or when they're talking. But to say, remember, the movie takes place in '95. Don't talk about cell phones. Don't talk about Beyonce. Don't talk all the references or anything you say has to be linked to the character you're playing in 1995. And so yeah, they decided their own names. they decided what they wanted to play, and they were all very, very healthy. They barely drink, they don't do drugs, and I was showing them all these videos of people in rave parties or being or drug addicts being arrested by the cops, and some footage from mental institutions to show them how crazy, psychotic, hysterical people can become when they're under the influence of drugs.
That's amazing that none of them really had that experience, because it really, I mean, it really comes through, and you can like empathize with the drug trip, especially I think Sophie, when she's really like deep in it, it's quite alarming. So that's amazing. And so you said majority.
This is a weird thing. I had seen many videos for years of Sophia dancing, but I had never seen a movie with Sophia acting. And also, in some ways, I met her, and I thought she was extremely intelligent and very. I wanted to film her, but I don't like watching actors in movies that I'm going to dislike, because then I associate them to movies, and I say, oh, she proposed me, and yeah, I just saw a small excerpt of Atomic Blonde, but she really impressed me as an actress on the set. But I don't like doing acting tests to anybody, so I just said, well, I trust you all. Give me your best. You create your character. Bring your ideas to the set, and even if there's a storyline, we can change the interactions between the characters according to what you feel like doing. And please, if you feel uncomfortable with any scene or any dialogue, please just tell me, and I will go to something else.
That's amazing. And so the scene where she does kind of that, I imagine it's slightly like possession inspired, right? Where she has like kind of the breakdown against the wall. Was that fully improvised by her, or had you kind of crafted that?
Initially, I wanted Nina McNally, or a choreographer, to take care of the opening scene, and then I saw the dancers would take care of their own characters. But Nina arrived 3 days before shooting. She rehearsed with the dancers I had casted for 2 days, and she finished her choreography in the morning of the first day of shooting, because there were some dancers missing. And then we shot that in the afternoon. And she said, but shouldn't I be for the rest of the movie? And she was so nice. And what she did in the first day was so incredible. Say, yeah, of course, I'd love you to stay until the end, but the salary wasn't very big. So I said, probably you have better things to do. I thought, oh, I'll be happy to do the whole shooting. And then I noticed that she was essential to all the other things, because when I was sick, I was operating the camera. While I was operating the camera, she was taking care of advising the different dancers to do better in their own way and scream on them, give me more energy. Or she was like directing the dancers without me even paying attention. And concerning the scene with Sofia Boutella being possessed, yes, of course, she had seen the scene of possession with Isabella Gianni, in which Isabella Gianni turns hysterical, and she rehearsed it with Nina McNally. And when I was operating the camera, Nina was next to me, screaming to her, "This, that," and weirdly, we shot it without music. I said, I don't need music because it's not linked to the pace, and we hadn't the rights. No, we hadn't cleared the rights for Window Liquor by Aflex Twin at that moment. But then when we put the music on, so we said, well, this is the music that has to be on the scene, and it really works. But I gave Sophia total freedom to move as she wanted. For example, the fact of putting her hands below her tights and touching and not moving, it was her own idea, and I really liked filming things that happen in front of my camera. And I don't like telling people what to do that much. For the last years, I always try to avoid to give lines to those I'm filming, because I think that they will come with much better ideas. And when it comes to dancing, even more, I'm not a dancer. I like dancing in nightclubs, but I said everything that you think is going to be powerful on screen. You please propose it to me or do it directly in front of the camera. And if I think it doesn't work, well, we'll do another take in another way. But you're open to express yourself in the way you want. Of course, they were all portraying characters; they were not being themselves. But some people have charisma, some people don't, and especially when people express themselves with their arms and legs as they do, they're incredible. I think that one of the reasons why people like this movie is because you're envious of every single dancer.
Yeah.
No, not for the situation, but for the way for what they are.
Yeah, and I mean their movements are part of who they are, like their personalities, and it really comes through.
I never watch sports on TV, but I love watching acrobats on TV. When they're Olympic Games, it's the only thing I like watching.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I love how the movements that they show in those early choreography scenes are kind of mirrored in like their darker version of themselves, right? Like their characters just flip, but still have that same personality. It's really well done. Can you talk a little bit more about the music? Kind of securing the songs, choosing the songs. Was that a complicated process?
No, but at the very beginning of the year 2019, it was 3rd of January. I proposed my co-producers of Love to finance this movie. And initially, I thought it would be more like a mix of documentary shots and narrative parts. There are many documentaries of that type that you see on TV when there's a crime story, they interview people, and then you have a small moment of what happened. I thought it would be a more Godardian movie with title cards, interviews, and some long scenes in between. But in the process of casting the crew, casting the dancers, and climbing the location, things changed, and I finally did a movie with almost 2 master shots. I wanted to do the first, the day we started shooting, I saw the first half would be 45 minutes, and the second half would be 45 minutes, and then it changed. And I decided to stop filming with the first part as a continuous shot because I wanted to get all their energy on the screen. So by shooting a real battle, dance battle from above, or by letting them improvise their dialogues with a still camera, I could get the best of their performances as dancers and actors. But I think I got far from the question. What's the question?
The question was kind of the music choice. How did you pick all this?
Yeah, and another thing we did at the beginning of the pre-production, I knew that I wanted to have a relentless soundtrack on the movie, and I didn't know if the movie was going to be 17 minutes long or 2 hours long. But we started very early to negotiate the rights for all this music from before '95 that I used to dance on, disco music, Moroder, or early techno. So I did a list of the most danceable tracks that I liked or that I knew. And my music supervisor started negotiating them. And we discovered that some of them we couldn't get them because inside the track they use excerpts from another music. So those songs couldn't be cleared. I wanted the music coming from the film, and the producers of that old film, they say, no, we're keeping the music for if we do a remake. And also, not sometimes also there are moral issues. Some other tracks were refused because people didn't want to give their music to a movie dealing with drugs. And but I did a list of like 2 hours and a half of different tracks, and we knew we could get like 90 minutes out of them, and we needed to have the contract, at least the email saying it's okay for 10,000 euros, for 5,000 euros, or more, before we would start shooting those scenes. Because once you have people dancing on one particular song, even if you find another track later with the same number of beats per minute, the movements don't match. So we need to clear in advance every single track, and I put the most joyful ones at the beginning, and then I kept the darker ones for the end. And also the music supervisor advised me some tracks that I didn't know, like Utopia by Moroder, that we use at the end. And my stylist of the movie, who was a big party guy, he knew some other tracks that he loved to dance on that I didn't know. And so yeah, we had like a pre-edit, and for some scenes that were to come, we had like 3 proposals, and we would discuss with Nina, also with the dancers, which one we prefer, and then we would confirm the night before shooting. We would confirm the record label, well, we're going to be using your track for tomorrow's shooting. And the last track that I got that was clear was Angie. So we shot all the epilogue without music, but still, if you see the German characters just dancing on Angie, and I thought it would be impossible to get the rights for it, also because I wanted an instrumental version. An instrumental version doesn't exist, but hopefully, like 10 days before showing the movie in Cannes, the record label finally replied, so there's no instrumental version, but if you want to do your own instrumental version, this is the amount. So the producer said, okay, it's not small money, but it makes sense. So we cleared the rights, and we re-recorded it in Paris, and then the girl is dancing on Angie as she did on the second. And it's very melancholic also because we've all danced on that song. We all have memories. So when the spectator or the film critic sees a movie using tracks that he already knows or she already knows, you feel at home. If it's a track that you hear that you don't know, the effect is a bit colder. I like using like the very famous tracks in my movies.
Yeah.
They're not always cheap.
Yeah, but that worked out so nicely. I'm glad that worked out. I guess final question for you. This film has been really successful, right? I mean, critically, commercially. Has that opened any new kind of doors for you? Do you have more opportunities? Anything exciting you're working on now?
I don't know for Cremona. I'm still promoting the movie, although it was released in September in Paris, and it's been released almost all over Europe since. Now it's coming out in the States, and it's coming out in Japan in 3 months from now. I didn't really find the time to work on something else. I was just shooting something short, and but I don't know what's going to be my next feature. If it's going to be a documentary, a feature film.
Okay. Are you going to pull from some of those newspaper clippings you have?
What? Yeah, that's but I always wanted to do a disaster movie. I love the Towering Inferno. I love the Poseidon Adventure. I like movies like Titanic, or horror disaster movies like Dawn of the Dead or Shivers, like one of them. Yeah, so I did my danceable version of Shivers, or my danceable version of the Towering Inferno. But I would like to do an anti-religious movie one day.
Yeah.
I feel bad when people tell me when they talk about God. I want to make a movie with the most evil people doing things in the name of God.
Fascinating. I think we would love to see that. Well, do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
I want to apologize because the other day when I was going to the Q&A, I had done 2 before. I had family drama, and I was very tired because I was shooting something the days before, and waiting for the final Q&A. I was a bit drunk, and I suddenly fell asleep, and I woke up, and I felt very ashamed. So I want to apologize to the whole audience in San Francisco who were waiting me to be on the big screen, which I was just.
Well, thank you for doing this. I mean, now we have a whole 25-minute Q&A for them. So we really appreciate your time, Gaspar, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye.